Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is the Nicholas Perstakis Chelsea channel, and today is not a match reaction day. Not just yet. That'll be tomorrow. Game obviously hasn't happened yet, but today's a match pre-news. It's just a match news day. It's just a news day. It's just a Chelsea news day. I haven't done one of these in a little while. I've been only doing previews and reactions due to the fact that it's the end of the school year. I have finals. I should be studying for them right now, but I can't lock in, so I'm making a video to get my mind off of it, and maybe after this I'll lock in. So that's what we're doing for right now. That's what we're doing for right now. So there's two pieces of news. One that came out today, one that came out yesterday or the day before. I want to talk about, and then I also want to do a fun little thing at the end where I talk about some players that I think have either underachieved or overachieved. I think that's the I think that'll be a little bit of a fun thing to do at the end. So let's hop into the first piece of news. So the first order of business, Josh Acheampong. We talked about it yesterday in the preview that we weren't sure if he was going to be coming back. I also made a video, a small, I think, TikTok where somebody asked about whether or not that Acheampong should play. I agreed with him, but I wasn't sure if he was going to still be frozen out. And we learned in the press conference today that he will be starting the match. Excellent stuff. That means the contract negotiations are at a really good point. Of course, as we know, it was really funny in the press conference. I want to see if it says it here. How do you know the squad? I didn't say the squad. Maresca left. And he said he was in this. A reporter asked him, he was in the squad, and then he clarified, yes, Acheampong will be starting from the beginning of the match. I was so happy. I know a lot of people were probably so happy when they saw this. Of course, he was frozen out because he didn't want to sign another contract, even though he has, I think, 2 years left on his deal, so it wasn't even a mandatory thing. They just wanted to get a long-term deal set in. I think this is one of the deals that it's so important, the fact that we're going to see him play. He's a right back slash center back who I think is more as a right back, but he'd be perfect in the role if you have Cucurella invert. I think this is a guy that has a giant, massive future at Chelsea. I 100% see a way he could play games for us this season. If guys like Gusto and Reese get hurt, why not throw Josh in the mix? Let Cucurella invert. Let him be at that right back position. Let him get some minutes. I think it's such an important thing that we're seeing him back in the lineup. And hopefully this contract we see is set in stone soon. Um, Anything else that important about the article that it talks about? It looks like I'm an agreement being Chelsea's coach. For Josh, it's quite clear. The club loves Josh. I love Josh, and we're trying to find an agreement for the player. We are close. We are almost there, but we will see soon. I'm guessing we'll see an agreement between the club and Josh within the next, I'm going to guess, maybe a week or so. And if I had to guess, I think he'll be extended until 2030. I think the club want to get him on a long-term deal, and they see him as one of the most important players. And like we saw in the summer, I think teams like PSG and Real Madrid were interested in his services. So this guy's not a joke, dude. This guy's not a joke. Um, just a little bit, like I said yesterday, I really think that a lot of youth guys are going to play in this game. So I really, really hope that's the case. Otherwise, I'm very excited to see what he can give us in tomorrow's match. Hopefully, he gives us a good. So the next piece of news that came out was, of course, Cole Palmer to Real Madrid. Um, this one's a joke, absolute joke in my opinion. It's not going to happen. We just signed him to a long-term extension for more than 9 years. And Cole Palmer himself, of course, it's really hard to sometimes take a footballer's, word for granted. But he did say he would love to spend like the next 10 years here at Chelsea or the rest of his career here. But who knows? Who knows? That could be appeasing the fans. But if he stays here, he's going to have a statue outside of Stamford Bridge or whatever the stadium might be by then. But that's just what would happen. It's almost guaranteed at this point. But 200 million euros is what they would want. The Spanish Giants have suffered a massive setback as the Blues want 200 million to part ways with the attacking midfielder. 200 million is a lot of money, but is he worth more than that? I think he is, dude. This guy's incredible. I mean, if we had to straight up look, they talk about how he would just add quality to their squad. If Cole Palmer, of course, it's hard to take down Madrid. It's hard to refuse an offer from Madrid. But if you're not going to, if he start right away, it's hard for a guy like him in a lineup like that. It's so much quality in that Madrid squad. I think they would have to play him off the get-go. Guys like Jude Bellingham would try and convince him to come to Madrid. But I think Cole Palmer really enjoys his footy here at Chelsea right now. I think he still wants his chippy chips. I think he wants to keep I think he wants to stay here at Chelsea. I can't see after he signs an extension in the summer for 9 years. I can't see a way a deal like this happens anytime soon, at least. If a deal like this were to happen, I think Cole Palmer would be in his prime, kind of like Eden Hazard. I think he would wait until he's around 27, 28 to make a deal. I still can't see a way that Cole Palmer leaves anytime soon. So this piece of news is just garbage in my opinion. But I guess we'll find out in the future and see what happens. But this is just bogus in my opinion. Just bogus. So the last thing I want to go over was just a little bit of a stat review. See how some of the guys that either we didn't think were doing that well or maybe did think we're doing that well. Personally, this season with Chelsea, there's not a whole lot of guys that you're sitting here right now saying to yourself like, oh damn, like this guy's not playing well. Like there's a few guys you're like, damn, like maybe they aren't Chelsea standard, but in my opinion, there's been a lot of really good performers and a lot of overachievers from comparison to the views that we had going into the season. I wanted to start off by stating that I think Jadon Sancho's had an incredible start to his season over here at Chelsea. This has been an immaculate. The last few games have been a spectacle to watch from him, especially the one at Tottenham. He showed his quality all throughout the match, but he was incredible in that game. There's no let alone. But the fact is, I've loved the way he's came in. I love the way he's added another dynamic on the wing. The fact is he's been so massively important in breaking down a low block for us that we struggled so much with last season, and we've improved so much at doing all of this season. It's almost as if it doesn't matter whether you play a low block anymore because we're going to be able to break it down. We just look so much more confident at it, and Jadon Sancho is such an important part to it. As you can see, he's only got 2 goals and 3 assists this season. Of course, 2 goals in his last 2 games. He's also, I think, got 2 assists, if I'm not mistaken, in the Conference League. So he's got 2 goals and 5 assists total this season. He's just been so good. His stats are only going to keep going up this season. It's not possible, the fact that he doesn't have finish with maybe there's a chance he could finish with 10 goals, 10 assists, and that would be incredible in your debut season here at Chelsea. And of course, there was a lot of things talking about how many United fans wanted him back at United, and the only way that would be is if Chelsea finish below 14th or above 14th or something, right? I think it'd tend to be below 14th. And that's not going to happen, of course. So it's £25 million. What a steal this guy is. That's the first guy I want to talk about. And then I wanted to talk about an underachiever. And like it's really hard because this team has, in my opinion, been so inconsistent all year. But when you talk about guys who've been inconsistent, Robert Sanchez is one that sticks out like a glove. He's been great at stat shopping. Don't get me wrong. But he's at the point where in a system that you need to be able to play with your feet, this guy can't do it. This guy simply can't do it. Like, here it's not going to tell you his statistics, but as we know, Robert Sanchez has fully struggled at getting the ball out of his feet this season. He's looked very scared sometimes to get the ball up the field, and like he plays the passes in the wrong. There's a reason that he's tied, I think, with the Ipswich goalie for most goals conceded from errors. But he also has like one of the highest save percentages in the league this season. I really hoped that Robert Sanchez was going to take a step up and really make himself the number 1 goalie. But more and more, every single time he plays or every time Jorgensen plays, I want to see him playing as the starting goalie. And that for a reason alone, I don't think Robert Sanchez is quality for Chelsea, and I don't know where he's quality for. I think he can do a job as a decent Prem goalie, but he's not standard for our team, and he's definitely not going to be standard for Champions League if we were to get it. So I really think we still need a quality goalie, or let Jorgensen get the quality playing time to see if he can use it up to his standard. A guy that I really think has overachieved and outperformed expectations this season. It's incredible for me to say Marc Cucurella's name in this way, but he's been very, very good. It sucks that his last game kind of destroys this point a little bit, but to be honest, man, take that game out, and he's been so consistent all year round to the point where he's one of the better left backs in the world. And everybody's going to quote me for saying, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking? It's not even a joke. This guy won the Euros as the starting left back for Spain. He's been consistently getting high average ratings every single time I see him play. Even after the game against Tottenham, after the first 20 minutes, he was so good. Second half, great at inverting into the midfield, getting further up the field. Underlapping. He was incredible. Give this guy his credit. He's been so much better. I was talking to my friend who's like, I'd take him at United in a heartbeat. But the thing is, he hates him, but he loves him because of that. So it's the point where you gotta hate the guy because of what kind of shit he does. But he's a brilliant player. Give him his credit, man. Give him his credit. And if I had to pick one more player, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna do a separate video on this. I think over the break. Of course, I'll talk about more in depth about the players and their stats and everything. But if I had to just name one more player that I think has underachieved so far this season, now there's a tiny few that I think that have underachieved so far this season. But I think when it comes to Premier League time, it strikes me to say it, but I think Mudryk. I really thought he was going to get a better chance this season. It hasn't happened. Sadly, it hasn't happened. Maresca hasn't given him many opportunities, as you can see here. He's got 7 matches played. Only one of them was a start. I think, yeah, only one of them was a start. It's the same amount as Renato Vega's gotten, and that's just not good enough for a guy who really has only gotten Conference League minutes. You need to see. I was really hoping I would see more out of him this season, but it hasn't come. He's been great in the Conference League, but he should be great in the Conference League. It's that much of a difference. Um, I'm really hoping this guy best. I'm really hoping the best for his future. I'm really hoping that Maresca will give him some time. So let me know what you guys think. I think that this is a different video compared to what I've been doing recently, but I have the time. Actually, anyway, I don't have the time, but I'm just choosing not to study. So we're just gonna keep going with it. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep posting. I'm probably gonna study after this, but is what it is. Is what it is. Let me know what you guys think though. Like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for stocking CFC on TikTok and Instagram. 3-1 is what we have for the Astana game. The match reaction will be out tomorrow for that. But without a doubt, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.